So who's going to back down? Who's going to accept a compromise? That is the question this evening, and it was asked of President Obama.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if you won't negotiate, how can you get a solution? How can you bring an end to this if you won't talk to the congressional leaders?
Now, Mr. Obama didn't answer the question. As you saw, I walked away from ABC News correspondent Jonathan Karl. But later on, he did meet with the congressional leaders, and nothing was accomplished. That's because the president's in a corner. The Syria deal made him look weak, and he cannot afford to look weak again by compromising his signature issue, Obamacare. The Republicans are in a bad place as well. Another new poll out today says Americans blame the government shutdown on Republicans by a 44-35 margin. But there is so much anger on the right over Obamacare that Republicans in Congress can't back down, or their careers may be ruined. The rhino charge, Republican in name only, not an easy thing for GOP politicians to deal with. To be fair, Republicans have little choice but to hammer Obamacare because it's shaping up to be a disaster. It's like this. Your teenager comes to you saying she wants to attend a dance. You have some misgivings, but you say okay because she's so passionate about the issue. Then you learn that a vicious motorcycle gang may well show up at the dance. So you change your mind based upon best available evidence, and you protect your daughter from possible danger. Obamacare is like that. When it passed, few knew what the unintended consequences would be. Now, we're seeing a loss of full-time jobs, higher health insurance premiums for many working Americans, and a total lack of control by the feds in the implementation of the Affordable Health Care Law. So opposition must be mounted in good conscience, and Republicans are right to do that. But the GOP may pay a heavy price for failing to implement a legal law. A 2-week study by the conservative watchdog group Media Research Center shows the 3 network news broadcasts laying the shutdown almost entirely on Republicans. 21 reports did that. 0 blame the Democrats. Just 4 blame both parties. Now, that kind of one-sided news coverage skews public opinion and emboldens people like Senator Harry Reid.
You all talked about children with cancer unable to go to clinical trials. The House is presumably going to pass a bill that funds at least the NIH. Given what you said, will you at least pass that?
What right do they have to pick and choose what part of government is going to be funded? It's obvious what's going on here. You talk about reckless and irresponsible. Wow. What this is all about is Obamacare.
But if you can help one child who has cancer, why wouldn't you do it?
Why would we want to do that? I have 1,100 people at Nellis Air Force Base that are sitting home. They have a few problems of their own. This is to have someone of your intelligence suggest such a thing. Maybe means you're irresponsible and reckless.
Now, Reid gets away with that nonsense because hard news reporters have to be somewhat respectful. But I don't. Senator Reid revealed himself in that exchange to be a cold-hearted fanatic, a man who couldn't care less about compromise or the suffering of Americans. For Harry, it's all about power. We got your number, man. And for the American left in general, it is all about their vision of social justice and income equality. It matters not to the left if health care actually declines because doctors opt out, if full-time jobs decline because companies want fewer workers on the payroll that they have to insure, or if health insurance premiums rise for those making decent money in order to pay the health costs for those who don't. See, it's all about ideology. And in the end, a compromise will have to be reached, but not before more rhetorical blood is spilled. Both the left and the right are furious and are taking no prisoners if you would disagree with that. Robust debate's good for the country. Personal agendas overriding the good of the people bad. President Obama knows the law is flawed. That's why he granted waivers to some businesses. So he should step back, then step up, and give the same waivers to individual Americans who are not convinced Obamacare is good for them or their families. 1 year from now, we're going to know. We will know if Obamacare is best for the majority of Americans. If it is, it'll take deep root, and the president will be hailed a champion. If it is not best for the people, then it should be repealed. Mr. President, country needs another year to sort this thing out. Please give the folks the option of a short delay. Those who want Obamacare now should have it. Those who don't should be granted a temporary reprieve. That's fair, and that's what is best for America.